Red light on. Texting.
Are we in the red light district?
We're in the red light district. That's not a flashing red light. Just a seat.
Yeah,
Hey.
Comfortable today.
It's Halloween here in the sack. Mr. Procrastinator himself finally put some lights up. The lazy shit, I'm talking about myself. Anyway, that is the redoubtable one, Mr. Thomas Izzo. I am the highly questionable one, Arjun Miliaccio. Welcome to IDD in the Know. I don't disagree for those new ones out there. Welcome. It is a Wet My Whistle Wednesday here in the sack, and we have Major League playoffs going on right now. Hey, has anybody been watching the Phillies lately? Because they're still playing and not looking like the Phillies that I've seen lately. They're looking like freaking a real contender here. They've gone up 2-0. Is it 2-0 now?
No, the Phillies just went down.
They went down 2-0. But they've already got
the Phillies won yesterday.
They won game one.
Kind of shocked the Braves.
Yeah.
We're beating them all day. The Braves came back in the bottom of the ninth and made it look like a game.
Yes.
It really wasn't a game.
No.
Until the ninth inning.
Yeah, when the Braves woke up.
But right now,
it's 2-0.
The Braves have taken a 2-0 lead in the bottom of the sixth. It looks like Wheeler is still in the game, which I agree with. He's their best pitcher.
Yeah.
Oh, now it's 3-0. Damn it.
Well, all right. Well, the Braves have woken up. Anyway, but if they lose, it's 1-1. They get a split and they go back home. Which honestly, your goal is get a split. They got the split already.
But here's my thing. I think the Braves, in the Phillies Stadium and Citizen Bank, I feel it's gonna be bombs away there.
Maybe it is.
Because
maybe it is.
Look,
stadium, Atlanta's the better team.
That stadium plays small,
yeah.
And the Braves just have a bunch of freaking boppers.
Yeah, they do. They do.
But the Phillies have surprised me because they're playing fundamental baseball, which all year was their issue. Not all year, because they obviously got things together once they fired Girardi.
Yeah.
But they look good.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about baseball in the first segment, and lots to unpack tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I know you've been following the Draymond drama, and then Devontae Adams felt left out, so apparently he had to do something about that. And
it's true.
And then, hey, NHL back, Bruins and the Caps in a Donnie, right up the road here in D.C., 3-2 Bruins in third. Hey, Patrice Bergeron, first goal of the season, bang, right out of the gate. So you got Ovi against Bergie going on up there in the nation's capital. And
who is it, Caps and who?
Caps and Bruins up there tonight. 3-2 Boston in the third period, 11 minutes to go, so we'll keep you updated on that. See, we do talk about hockey here.
We won't talk too much about it. Sorry, Craig.
It's a young season, Craig. We'll get to it. Anyway, the bottom line is things rule the day here. Like it's baseball. It's playoffs. We have three. We have a segment 2, college football. We have three. I've got a little surprise for you tonight. We have 3 big Donnies to break down, including Alabama against Tennessee, 3 versus 6, both undefeated. That's going to be a rock. That's going to be the best game. We're going to hopefully get together and watch that on Saturday. That should be a lot of fun. And then you got Penn State, Michigan. You got another one.
I feel like Penn State, Michigan is like 2 frauds.
And Michigan was in the playoff last year.
Yeah, right, but
they lost
fraudulent.
to Bama.
They're fraudulent.
I don't think Michigan's fraudulent.
I feel like Penn State and Michigan State are always good until they play a team like Ohio State.
Michigan beat Ohio State last year.
Okay, well, shut up then.
But to be fair, he doesn't watch a lot of college football. We're going to get him into it. Right. He's got a team. He's got a team now, right? By the way, you better have some JMU gear by next week.
No.
You got to get at least a hat.
I can't do that.
Why?
I don't even wear hats.
All right, we'll get a T-shirt.
You bought me 2 hats, and I'm still.
The Giants are 4-1. Where's the fucking hat? Seriously, they're 4-1.
I know. I just don't like hats on my head. I love those hats, and when the occasion calls for it, I'll wear it.
Well, they're 4-1. With not now, when? And they have a big game. We got to talk about that game. They got a big game against the Ravens. That's going to be a Donnie.
It's kind of crazy that both teams travel back from London and play this Sunday.
I know that is kind of weird that they didn't get the bye week.
Don't they usually do the bye after London?
I don't know if they usually do it, but they have done it.
I think every time it's
I think they should have done it in this case because honestly, that's a turnaround short weekend. You're flipping 6 hours. It takes you about 4 days to get right again because you're switching time zones and all this other shit.
And you've been there the whole week.
Yeah, you've been there for a week, so you're on that time. You're trying to just make this. That takes time.
But I also kind of like just let's go. Let's go. Like I don't want to go home.
If you lost like Green Bay, you probably chomp in the pit to get back out. So
that's that's going to be a tough game for the Jets, who are going to Lambeau
Jets are playing well, though.
I know.
Jets
But
are playing
I would
well.
rather have
If I'm
caught...
Green Bay, I'd be very careful.
Well, Green Bay's
careful.
pissed, though.
I don't care if they're pissed.
Because
Pissed
they-
is one thing.
because-
Being pissed and having the talent to be pissed is two other things. Okay, so, but we'll get into that in
I
segment
think
2.
that defense is actually pretty good.
It is pretty good.
Although,
Actually,
somehow the Giants sliced and diced it.
You have one of the best running backs in all football when he's healthy, and that was a myth because you hadn't seen him in like 3 years, but it's not a myth. It's real. He's number 2 in the league. He's at 5. He's on. You know what he's on pace for? Have you looked at his numbers?
No.
He's on pace for almost 1,700 yards. And they can't throw. Not because the quarterback doesn't have enough. They have no weapons. The defense knows he's coming, and they can't stop him. Okay? Remember people, when, I remember this with Bird and Jordan, and it's one thing to know where it's going. It's another thing to stop it. And if you know where it's going, you still can't stop it. That tells you how great the guy on the other end is. And that's Saquon Barkley right now. Because everybody knows he's getting 30 touches.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem to matter. So that tells you how good he really is.
But I have to say, and I love the Giants. And typically when I pick games that my team is playing in, if I allow my biases to kick in, I'm always going to pick them. Because I want
that's
them
normal.
to win.
That's like everybody. Every fan's like that. What do you think, you're different?
I don't know that every fan's like that. I think some fans accurately pick games that their team.
Well, I think you know where that comes from. If they're used to the team stinking, they just have a realistic look to
Really?
it, or a pessimistic look to
Who
it.
the fuck am I?
Well, your team still won 2 Super Bowls in the past.
Okay, but I'm a
15 years.
Mets fan.
Yeah, didn't they win
That
in 06?
rules. They didn't win.
No, when was the last time they won the
They
World Series?
went
Was it 86?
86.
Yeah, it was the last one.
They went to the World Series in 15.
That's
in
right, 15.
2000.
That's right, 15. But yeah, so 6 games. Is that what it was? Or did they get swept?
In 2015?
Yeah,
5.
5. Okay, gentleman's sweep.
They lost to the Royals.
That's right. The Royals. The Royals? The Royals have perpetually sucked forever. It was their one
Royals
moment.
were good.
They were great, best team in the world. So anyway, that's segment 2. Well, they were best team in the world.
But so I said all that to say, I would be surprised if the Giants win.
Okay, fair enough.
It doesn't mean, of
Well,
course
because
they
at the end of the day, the best player on the field,
Lamar Jackson,
at least going in, is
beast.
Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. I think Saquon Barkley has been hearing that all week. And let's be real here. The Ravens' defense is not what it used to be. It's not. Okay?
And the thing about
It's not.
last week against Green Bay, what the Giants did to that offense, not to say Green Bay's offense is what it's been. It's still Aaron Rodgers. But what the Giants did to that offense, they kept it sitting around the entire second half.
Yeah, because
Because of Saquon.
Because of Saquon. Hey, sometimes your best defense is a good offense.
That's what I think that's probably what they're going to need to do
Yeah.
against
But
the
they have.
Ravens.
But the thing is, they've been doing this all season. It's not that. This is what they do. Yeah. So Ravens are going to try. Here's the thing: the Ravens are probably going to try and speed this game up, and you know what that can lead to? Turnovers. So the Ravens better be careful too. But we'll talk about
Which the
that
Giants
more.
have not gotten a ton of.
No, but well, I have some interesting numbers to show you in segment 2 about where they are.
Really?
Yes. Oh yeah, I've got some numbers to back up that what this Giants team is doing is not a fluke at all.
Data. Huh?
And we were surprisingly accurate in some of the things you and I said without even looking at it, but we were actually pretty accurate. You'd be happy to know. So anyway, that's segment 2.
I mean,
right
usually
now,
the eye test works.
right now you got the top of the 7th, Braves 3-0. What are the game? What's the next? The Dodgers tonight too? Or they're
The
playing.
Dodgers are leading the Padres 2-1 in the top of the 3rd.
Okay.
However,
Yeah.
Padres have no outs and man on first and second.
Okay, so we're gonna keep tabs on these games.
With Manny Machado up.
Yeah, we'll keep tabs on these games throughout the night. But he brought up something when we were off the air about the Mets and about how the media has been trashing them, and I wanted to talk about that because I heard it too. And Stephen A. Smith today.
Destroying.
Stephen A. Smith today ticked me off on, and I'm a big fan of his, but I at least half the time we agree.
You
on
are?
stuff.
I thought you said you hated him.
No, I don't hate him. He's one of the few I don't hate. There's a lot of guys. Yeah, he's one of the few I don't hate. But so anyway, and I'd say about half the time we agree, which is actually pretty good. But today I think was on a personal mission to piss me off because he did it all damn. Everything he talked about just pissed me off today, and everything he said, and I'm just like, and we're gonna get into that. But we'll start with the Mets because that was the first thing he did. Okay, so when I was watching this today, and of course Mad Dog Wednesdays, Mad Dog is on. I love Mad Dog too.
Mad Dog crushed them.
He crushed him. And Stephen A. was all too eager to jump on and throw a few in on himself while they're on the ground getting kicked.
Machado just tied it with the double.
There you go.
Don't look now.
Don't look now. Got a Donnie out there in LA.
No, that game's not even close to over.
No, it's not. But
So
still.
Kershaw and Yu Darvish have already given up 4 combined runs. That's a lot. Sorry. So Stephen A's trashing the Mets.
Basically, what they were saying was they give Mad Dog, like, he has a little segment called "What Is He Mad About?" on Wednesdays, like Mad Dog. What are you mad about?
Is he yelling about Scherzer?
it was his number one thing about how they 101 wins, blah blah. They had home field, all the shit. They blew a 10.5 game lead, and then they just folded. Blah, 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 blah. He sounded like they got swept. He made it sound like they didn't get a single hit or a single run in the entire series. I mean, they went 3 games, and they looked very dominant in game 2. I mean, this really came down to me. It was all, you want to point the finger at somebody, it was Max Scherzer.
It was Max.
And I think he would say that. One thing I like about him is he doesn't run from things. He'll hold himself accountable. I'm pretty sure he's killing himself right now, because he knows. You could see when he came off the mound. He would have hung himself if he could have found a noose. He was mad. He was visibly.
Down.
I mean, calm down. He knew he lost his team the series. The season just went down the toilet.
I don't think he would have hung himself.
I'm not saying he was literally. Never mind. The point is, he was really pissed.
He was.
Okay.
No, he said it felt like a kick in the balls.
Yeah, he felt like he owned it. He didn't run. He owned it. Okay.
But also, something you have to combine with that is that Darvish pitched awesome, and Joe Musgrove pitched better than anyone in the entire series.
Yes. Yeah.
Better than DeGrom, better than Darvish, better than Scherzer,
True.
of course.
But the point is, Scherzer lost that series in game 1.
Yeah.
Because that was the shocker. That. I don't remember, and I'm not saying that Mad Dog didn't mention Scherzer. I don't remember, but I might have missed that part because I was coming into the room when it came on. So I was in the middle of his rant about them. So it went from there, and then Stephen A. Smith is just sitting there with this smirk on his face going, yeah. And he said the owner's name. How you like that? You spent all that money and not enough, not good enough. You need to spend a little more, mister. You want to compete with them. I'm like, will you sit down?
Why is he ripping Steve Cohen?
I don't know. Because
Steve Cohen took over a battered franchise.
They were a terrible team.
Well, he took over a battered franchise that had been run by idiots for years.
For maybe a decade.
The Wilpons
who
were in on the frickin' Ponzi scheme of Bernie Madoff, okay, who had never treated this team the way it should have been treated. He took it over. He spent money because he wants to be good.
And they were good.
And they were.
They made the postseason. And they won a game.
Look, I get it. Like, they kind of choked at the end. They did not show up in the biggest moment.
But the owner did what he was supposed to do.
Right. The owner did what he did.
And that's the thing. Of all the people that whose name you can, the blame pie, the owner is not in the blame pie. The owner did exactly what he was supposed to do. He put a team on the field that could compete for a World Series. Because on paper, they had all that. Well, this was all between the years with them.
Well, it wasn't only between the years. Okay, if you want to talk about personnel, at the trade line, they made quite a few mistakes. Okay, because they had one of the worst DH productivity numbers in the league.
Yeah.
Same with catcher. And the guys they got were non-factors.
Yeah.
And they had chances to either bring up the young guys and let them build into it.
Well, who's the GM?
The GM is Epler.
Okay, well then it's more an Epler because that's his job.
Yeah,
that's specifically why he's hired.
Right,
but I didn't hear his name come up at all.
So we didn't reinforce the starting pitching.
Okay,
not to say we had to, but an extra arm is always good.
You can never have enough pitching.
We got one bullpen arm.
Yeah, so there are places where they could have. Yeah,
right. So there are some things that went into this, and I understand the criticism. What I don't like is the kick them while they're down mentality. And like I told you, I heard somebody saying, like, I don't want to hear it from Mets fans. It was 100 wins. Like, what are you hearing from us? We didn't lose the fucking game.
Ironically, you're not going to want to hear this, but this actually also came out of Stephen A's mouth. Actually, not just him, Mad Dog too. No, who's the other guy? It was somebody famous. Jerry Seinfeld.
Talking about Timmy Trumpet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He said it, but then also Mad Dog and Stephen A brought it up too.
I brought that up months ago. I said it's the loser mentality of, they're like, you were celebrating before you won. No.
Well, that's what Seinfeld says. Like, we haven't won anything.
But that's
what the hell is this shit?
Dude, so Edwin Diaz was the best closer in baseball this year. His walkout to the music went viral. Because of social media, Timmy Trumpet, an Australian trumpet player, sees it and goes, what the hell? This is crazy. He's like, I'm everywhere. I didn't know that. He flies to New York, sees his first baseball game, and says, I'd like to play it live. Like, that's entertainment. That wasn't the Mets going, we're winning the World Series. This shit just happened.
Well, apparently people weren't entertained.
I was. It was awesome.
This is 3 people that I've heard.
That's the loser mentality.
Well,
like you want to blame a trumpet player for Max Scherzer giving up 4 home runs.
Look, I agree the two are not connected.
It's crazy.
I agree the two are not connected. Am I a fan of that song? No.
No, yeah, I get.
But that's not why they lost.
That's what I'm saying. I get if you're not a diehard Mets fan, I get looking at that and going, that's corny. Yeah. I also get, as an opposing player, saying, God, I'd like to hit a home run off that guy because of that. Yeah. But nobody could this year.
Yeah.
Okay, so that had no impact on his performance. No, and it had no impact on the Mets' performance.
I know. I'm just saying it was ironic that was what kept getting brought up. And this was before they actually got beat. But Stephen A. and Maddow were yapping about it in the regular season.
Well, because Jerry Seinfeld went on Twitter and said, I knew it all happened because of... He said that, but before the playoffs, he said that on Twitter.
That. Yeah, I remember that.
He said, I knew it. It's all that Timmy Trumpet guy's fault. And it's just like, give me a break. You really think that cost them? No. They didn't make moves at the trade deadline. They didn't show up in the biggest games. They didn't show up for the whole last month of the season.
Literally, they backed into this position because of the way they did it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't. And honestly, one game, just one. This is what's really frustrating. Just any one of those games. Yeah. Against those, just pick one. Any one of them, they win that division.
Yeah.
Any one of them.
Enough about the damn Mets.
Okay. Well, I'm just saying. I thought that the pig pile to me was a little.
They've been getting piled too much on for days.
And the owner, I think, should not have been named because I think he did his job. He put a talented lineup out there, and they had enough talent to win. They did not lose because of lack of talent. That no one's going to say that to me. They had enough talent to win.
No. Hold on a second. There was a lack of talent at the DH and catcher spot. It wasn't enough to cause them to do what they did.
Every team, even the Dodgers, has something that they struggle.
Yeah, no doubt.
There's no team that's infallible.
But there was no reason they couldn't address it.
No, I'm not saying, but I don't think that's what killed them. I think what killed them was Max Scherzer not being Max Scherzer.
Oh, without a doubt.
That was the biggest shock. I will tell you right now, that is the single biggest shock of the postseason.
But hang on a second. Hang on a second. You've got Scherzer did it. Verlander did it yesterday. He got blown up by the Mariners.
Yeah.
Kershaw,
but he still won.
No, he didn't win.
Well, the team won, didn't
it?
The team won.
Not because of him.
Not because of him,
no. In spite of.
He helped them by leaving.
Right. Get him out.
Well, that was his contribution. I need to know when you take yourself out, Tom.
Now, Kershaw's in here.
Takes a man to do that.
Kershaw's in here. He's already given up 3, and it's the top of the 3rd. Mm-hmm. That's not a good performance. Max Fried yesterday, the ace of the Braves staff, I don't think he got out of 4 innings, gave up 6 runs.
Look at the lineup that he's pitching against.
The Phillies?
No, I'm talking about the Dodgers.
No. Kershaw's pitching against.
Oh, I'm sorry. I got that screwed up.
But you could say that about the Padres too. I mean,
yeah, but
that lineup
nasty. is nasty.
However,
and they're missing a guy.
However, for some reason, the bottom of the lineup.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Is like fucking murderer's row.
That killed the Mets.
The 174 hitter is like.
When I was looking at those names that day, I was like, "Who the fuck are these guys?" And I was like, "Who the fuck is this?" But they're doing it again.
Yeah, they did. They had a couple hits last night.
Yeah, they're producing. They're still producing. So look, teams that win have to have players that don't.
Yeah, they always have unsung.
You have to have somebody step up somewhere that doesn't normally do it. That's from every team has a guy like that. So. Is it surprising? No, because it was going to be some team. It just happens to be them right now. So we'll see how far it takes them.
Yeah. But that's interesting. If the Padres can win against Kershaw, maybe psychologically it flips.
Maybe.
Because last night, the Padres, when they were playing against the Mets, they were like a brash, like, fuck you, we're better than you. Last night, it looked like they thought the Dodgers were better than them.
Yeah, and they played like
But
they fought back.
But like their face, I don't know. Now I didn't see after they scored their runs, so maybe that changed. But they didn't look like the team that was at Citi Field.
Well, I think they were nervous because the team they're facing has 111, whatever it is.
Owned them, yeah.
And they owned them during the regular season, so that was no
22
fluke.
more wins than them.
Think about that.
That's a
large gap. Okay, yeah. So I mean,
if they get this game against Kershaw,
they got to split.
They got to split.
You got to be confident. All you want to do is get one of the first 2 on the road.
Right. And then you got Musgrove coming back.
Exactly.
Now, here's the other thing that I wanted to ask you about.
Yes.
Musgrove. Mm-hmm. So, look, I'm going to say it right now. I don't think Musgrove cheated against the Mets.
Oh, but that.
Okay? Look. Just wait. Mm-hmm. I don't think he cheated against the Mets. However, I don't like how Buck Showalter has gotten destroyed for going out there and telling him to check him. Because, I thought nothing of this. Brian Kenny, who is, one of the broadcasters on MLB Network.
I know who he is, yeah.
I think he used to do Baseball Tonight on ESPN.
Actually, I think he was on that. Yeah.
He's great.
Yeah.
But he is all over the analytics.
Yeah,
right?
he is. He's that dude.
He's that
dude. Yeah.
But he talks about it in a way I can understand it. Mm-hmm. But he put up this graphic about how, remember when last year they changed the pitchers couldn't use sticky stuff anymore?
Yes.
Middle of the year.
Yeah.
And he talked about how pitchers' spin rates dropped by like 100 RPMs. Well, I don't really know.
He's the kind of guy that would have that stat.
Well, no, yeah. So that
and know what it means.
So they can give you those stats in game.
Yeah.
I guess they have some kind of machine that reads how fast the ball is spinning.
Yeah.
So, he listed all these pitchers that from the day it was outlawed through the rest of last season, like big name pitchers' spin rates dropped massively.
Yeah.
100 points here, 110 points there.
Yeah.
Right. And he said, look, it's obvious that everybody was using sticky stuff.
Yeah.
Because look at it
was across the board.
He said Kershaw,
it was
Garrett Cole, like
everybody,
all these names.
Yeah.
So he said, now let's look at Joe Musgrove's spin rates in this game 3.
Yeah.
One of his pitches, I don't know if it was the slider or the changeup, was over 200 RPMs faster.
That's crazy.
And every one of his pitches was at least 100 RPMs more than, in the regular season. So he basically said Joe Musgrove was cheating. He was like, look, I don't understand why Buck Showalter is getting blasted for being petty. He goes, if you see these numbers, there's only one way these spin rates change. And he goes, look, now, true, I don't know. Could he have been amped up? It's the playoffs. Maybe his adrenaline's running. But he goes, when they took the sticky stuff out of there, like the biggest drop in RPMs was about 100.
Yeah.
His changeup was more than 200 RPMs more in game 3. And it just made me think, like, damn, could he have a point? Now, I don't think Musgrove cheated, but that makes me think, like, maybe he was using something. I wish Scherzer would have used it.
How old is Musgrove?
Musgrove's not that old. I think he's under 30.
Okay. In my book, you're innocent until proven guilty. I'm not saying that there isn't validity to what you just said, because I think there is. However, is there another possible reason for this that's not a performance-enhancing drug? Yes. There's a very simple one.
What?
Okay? The guy, especially if he's in his 20s, okay, or he's not at his prime yet, because your peak as an athlete is 20 to 33. So if he's in that range, this is where, and again, that sounds like a monumental improvement.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. It doesn't sound like I'm amped up, so I'm throwing harder.
Look, before games, when I played basketball, I would eat 2 giant Snickers bars. And I was just faster because I was already amped up. Now I just shoved 2 Snickers bars down my throat right before the ball goes up. And all of a sudden, I go from fast to flash. Okay, I'm already fast, but now I'm like fucking
They used
flash.
to say Mahorn, remember Mahorn on the Pistons?
So, yeah.
They used to say he would get 2, big gulp coffees.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden he's like this. And it
he
sharpens your
just
senses and all that. Yeah, and I'm saying, so there are, now I don't know if it...
Joe Musgrove's 29.
Okay, so he's right in the middle of it. He's actually in his prime. Okay. So he's not over the hill, because if he was mid-30s, I'd be like, whoa. Okay.
No, but we're talking about a jump from regular season to postseason.
I'm just saying I know that when I just took
Dodgers already tied.
I just know that when I took 2 Snickers bars before every game, what that did to me. Those just 2 fucking Snickers bars. Okay,
yeah, but do you think he changed his approach for the playoffs in terms of Snickers bars?
I don't know what he did. The point is, neither does anybody else. And again, the numbers speak of something else is going on here. But
right.
What?
But what?
But what?
Because everybody else's point was like, yeah, but you checked him.
That's the thing.
So
they checked him.
So
what?
So how could he have been cheating?
I don't know. But the thing, he was checked.
I know.
So now you're telling me the umps are in on it? I mean, come on.
No.
I'm not saying
but
you.
Brian Kenny was saying, like, well, what does an ump know? You know what I mean? Like, an ump touches
well, they know
your
what to
face,
check
like,
for things that, like,
maybe.
Well, they're trained to do that.
Are they?
Yeah, because they have to know what it is or what to look for. So look, I wish it was something simple as some strange goo falling off your ear.
It reminded me of something about Mary.
Yeah,
like the old come behind the ear.
Yeah, but sometimes it's not that simple. There's ways to mask it and hide it.
All right, enough about the Mets. Sorry.
Anyway,
but I'm interested to see.
No, this guy's still pitching.
If he pitches tomorrow.
Yeah, he's going to pitch tomorrow.
I would love to see the spin rates.
Let's see what this looks like tomorrow.
I'd love to see what the spin rates.
What if it's the same as it was? Now it's 2 games.
If it's the same now, I'd be completely validated.
Yeah, because if
suddenly
it drops to 100, like, what the hell?
If it drops, then you'd be like,
I mean, a little is a little, but if it's a drastic drop, then it's like,
Either way, he beat the Mets.
Yeah.
I don't care if he had sticky stuff on his hands.
Look, his sticky stuff had nothing to do with Max Scherzer not showing up in Game 1.
If Scherzer had showed up, maybe they don't
He doesn't even
Musgrove.
pitch.
Yeah.
I don't think he even sees the field. So look at you can slice this any way you want. I'm just saying there's a number of factors that determine the outcome of a series. We're talking about one possible one that we don't even know if that's true. And we have no evidence other than these
Trey Turner hit his second home run in as many games.
Yeah. Another one.
That dude's a freaking MVP.
Yeah.
Batting behind Mookie Betts.
The Dodgers,
and in front of Freddie Freeman.
Think about that for a minute. Yeah, that's a nice cushion. That's a double cushion.
1, 2, 3.
It's like, ooh, it's so it's so comfy in here. I'm gonna see fastballs right down the middle.
Will Smith is 4. He's the best hitting catcher in baseball, but a lot of people on the East Coast don't really know who Will Smith is.
No, because they go to sleep. They sleep.
Okay, anyway, so now let's look at. Can I have another one too?
Yes. Last one, make it count.
How those olives looking?
Well, I have some inside. These are all almost gone. I have more inside.
Now let's talk about the Yankee game because that was kind of boring. I mean, it's like there's no way the Guardians can mess with them, right?
Look, I think because I said this to my boss, Kevin Vaughn, if you're watching, by the way. Hi, boss. I'm off the clock. Anyway,
does your boss have the link?
He knows about it.
So he doesn't have the link.
He does have it.
Oh.
He knows about it. I gave it to him.
Okay.
And Ben, on call. Hey, Ben. Anyway, so the point is, the Yankees are the better team, but the Francona, I think, is going to get one game out of this series.
Yeah.
I do, because he knows them. He's had success in the past, and he knows how to. I'll tell you what, he knows how to manufacture runs. He's one of those dudes.
If it's only one, it's going to be the next one.
Yeah, I think he gets Game 3 maybe, but I think they lose in 4. And I said this to my boss, who's a Yankee fan. I said I got the Yankees in 4, and he agreed. He thought that the Guardians would get one somewhere because of Francona. He said what I was thinking.
If they're going to get one, I think it's tomorrow's game.
Yeah, because
Bieber's pitching. Yeah. And Nestor Cortez is pitching.
Yeah.
When I remember, I was saying it might be good to pitch Cortez first.
Yes. I remember you saying
but watching Cole pitch to the Indians, my bad, the Guardians.
The Guardians. we're all still making that mistake. It's not your fault.
Watching Cole pitch to the Guardians, it made it look like the Guardians did not do well against power pitching. Nestor Cortez is not a power pitcher, so maybe they can string some hits together against Nestor, and Bieber can shut down.
Yeah. I mean, look, the saying is you're not in trouble till you lose on your own field. So if they go back to Cleveland and get Game 3, Game 4, depending on how Game 3 goes, could be a coin flip.
Yeah.
And then you're in a one-game scenario, which if you're Cleveland, you're like, just get me one game with them for all the marbles. I think
the Yankees have Severino as their 3. He's a good
this
3.
should not go beyond 4 games. The Yankees are far superior on paper.
It might.
They really
sweep.
are. They might sweep them. I would not be surprised if that happened. I thought Cleveland will get a game because of Francona. They could get swept. The Yankees are good enough to sweep them.
Tough part is they really need to score with the Yankees.
Well, this is the thing. There are maybe who's left. There are maybe 2 lineups that can match the Yankees at the plate, and the thing is they're facing.
No, there's several.
Who?
The Astros.
The Astros are better pitching, far superior pitching.
Dude, the Astros lineup is ridiculous.
It is, but their pitching is better than the Yankees. But those are comparable. There's no comparison in the
Dodgers
pitching.
lineup.
I think of the Dodgers,
the Braves lineup.
Oh, I think San Diego more than. I think San Diego has more weapons than the Braves do.
No,
they don't.
No, Now, name recognition-wise, you might be right with San Diego.
Yeah.
But if you look 1 through 9,
I'm not talking about the
lineup-
numbers because everybody knows San Diego backed into this thing. The Braves were fighting tooth and nail the whole way to the end. San Diego had given up long ago. Let's just get in because they weren't catching the Dodgers
Dude,
no matter what they did.
Braves got Ronald Acuna, Dansby Swanson, Austin Riley, Wilson Contreras, Matt Olson. I mean, I think they have 5 guys that hit 20 bombs.
And San Diego?
I mean, San Diego's got a good lineup. It's not
They're
the Braves
loaded.
lineup.
Well, they're the ones that are getting all the hype, not the Braves lineup. The Braves as a team because I think they're a better team. They're
Dude,
getting
the Braves lineup.
no, it's a good lineup. I'm not
They
saying it's not a
led
good
the NL in
lineup.
home runs.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's not a good lineup. I'm just saying that they are a complete team. Whereas San Diego, I mean, I think they can pitch, but their strength is their hitting. That's glaring. Their offense is their strength. It's not even close.
Dude, I don't know. They got freaking Yu Darvish and Joe Musgrove.
No, they got but
Ian
I'm saying,
Snell
but I'm
is
saying
at 3.
that they're no. When you think San Diego, you think of their
That
offense
lineup
first.
is nasty.
It's nasty, and it's missing a guy. It's missing a big gun.
Braves are missing a guy too.
Yeah,
Ozzie Albies.
yeah. So I mean, but I think but the Yankees to me can't hit with anybody, and not anybody can hit with them. But again, their pitching will be their downfall because I don't think they can pitch with all these other teams. I think the other teams have lineups that can match them, but their pitching
And
staffs,
pitching.
their pitching is
Yeah.
far superior, and that's certainly the case with Houston.
I don't know.
Houston is certainly
Verlander just
superior.
got slapped around. Be interesting to see if he can
And
bounce
they
back.
still won.
I know.
That's how good they are. Because look what happened to the Mets.
Dude.
They couldn't overcome
No,
that,
no
and
way.
and Houston did.
It was so strange because I was watching that game all day,
Yeah.
and I missed the freaking home run.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I went up. So that was that yesterday?
Yeah.
I can't remember. I stepped outside. I went upstairs, came back down. I was like, "What happened?" I think I might have went for a walk. And Casey's like, "They walked him off," and I was like, "What?" But I mean,
You didn't see that? I thought you
I
did.
mean, I had to go back and
gotcha.
look at it, but
Okay.
I can't remember if I went up to shower or what. But I mean, the Mariners dominated that game, but little by little, the Astros just run
They are a team.
2-run bomb. You know.
Yep. They are a team like the Braves, like the Dodgers, that can win in a lot of ways. A lot of ways. And it's always a way you don't think they can win, but they do.
What do you think about the move that the Seattle manager Scott?
I thought that
Service
was a
made?
big mistake. But, I mean, look, I don't know. They're playing with house money, too. They really are. I mean,
Yeah, but God, they had a chance to
They had
win
a golden
freaking game.
opportunity. Yes, they did.
Because if they somehow take that first game,
Well, they should have taken it. They led the whole damn game.
I mean, he brought in Robbie Ray, a starting
mean-
pitcher who hasn't had the best year, to face the best hitter in the Astros lineup.
I think somebody mentioned that actually on the broadcast
What?
about when he came in. That, this has had a kind of a checkered up and down season.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was mentioned.
Yeah, he hadn't had.
Yeah,
I mean,
he
had his moments, but he was also real
not-
bad.
He
at
was
first.
inconsistent, I think
Yeah.
was the word.
So you bring
And-
him in, and
Yeah.
they were talking about it, saying he was on 2 days rest as well. Which
Well, that's
mean,
the other thing. If that's true, why the hell is he in?
I think you got to leave your closer in at that point.
What, you don't bring a guy in on 2 days. I don't know. No, that's what
Not
I'm saying.
a starter.
I don't understand that.
That was weird.
I don't understand that. You have a closer for a reason, and you get him. And I know because we haven't had a closer in 4 fucking years. And I'd give anything to have a closer. So I mean,
And
just-
Sewalt had given up, I think, 2 singles.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to happen against the freaking Astros.
exactly.
Like,
It's going to be you're
you
going to
gotta
get
let
hit,
him fight
and you
through
got to
it.
hit back.
Yeah.
You got to let him fight through it. You can't go bang bang. Okay, he's done.
Right,
no,
he's done.
no, you
And
can't do
then-
that. You can't do that. Just and he paid for it.
God.
They paid for it.
Alvarez, that dude is enormous.
Yeah, he's a large.
I don't know how big he is, but at the plate, he looks like he's got to be
You can find out.
6'7".
He's a big dude. He's Gronk large.
What's his name again?
Alvarez, I think. Hold on. I think it's
Jordan.
what?
Jordan Alvarez. I saw a sign that said Air Jordan, which I kind of liked. Right? That's pretty good.
Hey, update. Pasta, a goal, 3 assists. Boston out of the gate, 5-2 win on the road down in the nation's capital. Congratulations to the Bees. 1-0 start. Bergeron, first goal of the season. Way to go, brother. Love you. 1-0 Bees. There's your hockey update for the moment. So the Bees are in first place. Jim Billy, have a frothel. Anyway, so back to baseball.
6'5", 227. He's a load.
6'5", he's a load.
He's a large man. He's 25.
Well, 227 though. It's like
He looks bigger than 227.
Well, the uniform's going to help too. That the puffy, because those shirts are baggy and they're thick and they're puffy, and you put a couple under them, and all of a sudden you're like, I feel rather huge. Dude, and 6'5" is big anyway.
Dude, he's a solid 6'5".
Yeah, 227.
He looks like he's 250, 260.
250. 250, maybe a 60.
Anyway,
227.
Verlander had a tough time with that Mariners lineup yesterday. Julio Rodriguez had a good game. It's too bad the Mariners didn't win that. I would have liked to see that. However,
I would have very much liked to have seen that.
But the series I want to see is Yankees Astros.
Oh yeah,
because that is the Yankees have so much unfinished business with the Astros.
They do.
Because that year when they were hitting a trash can, when they walked off on them in Houston against Aroldis Chapman, Game 6, the Yankees have to exercise those demons.
No, they don't. They have to go down in flames.
Well, I'm saying from a positive Yankee perspective.
Well, you're not going to get one on this side.
I know.
On this side of the table, brother. Let me tell you right now.
I don't hate the Yankees.
You can wash in one hand, you can crap in the other. You're not getting nothing out of it. No way. Hope the Yankees get swept.
They're not going to get swept.
Not in this series, they're not. But
they won't get swept against the Astros.
Probably not. It'll probably go 6. I would have Houston in 6. That series.
I think the Yankees might be able to do it this time. Because I think the Yankees can do more than just hit home runs now. No? Dude, did you see Harrison Bader last night?
They're playing Cleveland. Nothing they do again. They're supposed to beat
Cleveland, who beat the Rays 2 straight.
The Rays can't hit. The Yankees can. The Yankees will beat them. And they probably should sweep them. I said 4 because I figure Francona will get 1
Yeah, I
somehow.
think they'll sweep them.
But I would be shocked if they swept them at all. But they're supposed to sweep them. However, the Astros are a different animal altogether, and they're not afraid of the Yankees. That's the other problem the Yankees have. Once you can't intimidate somebody, you better be able to outpitch them, and they can't outpitch them. So they ain't going to intimidate them. That ain't going to happen.
What if Verlander does what he did tonight?
I don't think that's
yesterday.
Do you honestly think that's going to happen twice?
Dude, I didn't think
you were shocked that it happened once. So what are the odds of it happening twice? I mean, if Max Scherzer could have got another start, Max Scherzer probably would have struck out 15 in the next start.
I don't know, man.
Because he'd have been so pissed off with himself. No, he's that kind of guy.
Right,
he rarely has 2 bad starts in a row.
Dude, a week ago he blew it to the Braves in Atlanta. Yeah. And then he followed that up with this.
He was off for over a week, right? Was he over a week off? Because he didn't pitch again in the regular season, right? They kept him out, right?
It was Friday to Friday.
So it was a week. Mm-hmm. So normally he pitches every, 5 days? Well, that's about right. It wasn't too far.
It's probably good that he got a couple.
Yeah, it's probably good that he got. No, he crapped himself. Poop, poop, poop. Anyway.
All right, so it looks like the the Atlanta baseball team.
You've been saying Braves. So
I know. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
The Atlanta baseball team.
The Atlanta baseball team, better known as the. What's a good name for them? Kind of similar to Guardians or Commanders, like.
I don't know. There are very few cheesy names that rival those two.
Let's think of a good cheese.
I mean. The
Colonels.
The Colonels.
The Atlanta Colonels.
Like Colonel Sanders?
The Atlanta Sergeants. The
Atlanta Canines. That's cheesy.
What about the Atlanta Peaches?
Georgia Peach?
Right.
That'd be awful.
I kind of like the Peaches.
If it's a female team, yeah.
Men can't be peaches. Think about the fuzz on a peach. What does that remind you of? No?
No. In fact, the fact that they had Rockford Peaches in a league of their own even further cements that.
Look,
and by the way, those peaches were some nice peaches.
These are different times.
Dude. Different. No man would want to go, yeah, I'm a peach. I'm an Atlanta peach.
All right, so this is getting awkward. You never look at me when I'm talking to you.
I am looking. I'm looking right at you.
You're looking at the screen.
I'm looking at you.
I'm like, oh, yeah, and then I think the Mets are going to win. And I'm like, oh, he's looking over there.
Tom, I'm looking right at you. Peaches is weird.
Of course it's weird. I'm just kidding.
It's weird.
All right,
okay.
I think we're done.
Anyway, we're done with segment 1.
Dear God, 40 minutes on baseball. My apologies.
Well, you like talking about baseball. We got hockey in there.
Know,
we got 2 minutes on hockey. You can't say we didn't do it.
People don't like hearing about baseball.
Yes, they do. It's the playoffs. I mean, come on. And
Playoffs.
Playoffs. Real playoffs. I mean, if you're in Boston right now, you're fucking pissed because half your roster is playing out in L.A. But anyway, so, amen. We'll be back segment 2. Hey, football, and more football. Okay? So, get a Frosty when it's wet in my whistle Wednesday. Hey, guys, we are over the hump. It is hump day. Tomorrow is Thursday. We're on the way down. And Thursday night football, we're going to talk about that potential, Donnie. Carson's last stand? Tune in. We'll be back
including
in a few
our
minutes.
menu for the night.
And the menu for tomorrow night. Yes. See you in about 2 minutes. Grab a frothel. See you on the other side.